Welcome back. I'm Barkin. Now we are continuing to our 30 Days of JavaScript series with the day 9. We are seeing high-order functions today. So high-order functions are the functions which take other functions as parameter and returns functions as value. You can know these as lambdas from other languages. Callback. What's a callback? A callback is a function which can pass as a parameter to other function. For example, this function gets a parameter function this, and this is a callback. Returning a function, you can return a function, but this is a complicated example, so let's check this one. So this is a function, and inside we are creating another function. We're doing some operations, all this stuff. Same time. For time operations, for example, if we want it to sleep, we can do set interval methods. And for this methods, for every second, 1000 milliseconds, which is 1 second, it runs that method. Or you can set timeout like this. And if you ask what is the difference, let's see. It's called every 1 second. This waits for 2 seconds. So functional programming, instead of writing regular loop, we are using for each or map, filter, reduce, find, every, some sort. For example, in Java, with Java 8, and lambda functions added, and these are the same method names. For example, for each, for each, and we're running a function here. Or we can use an arrow function, which is preferred, like this as well. It's a one-liner. Parameters, the arrow, and the code inside that method. And if you want to do multiple lines of code action, you use brackets. These are the other examples. Numbers for each do this. For each num, print that. For each one of them, make them uppercase. It's really useful. Map. Map iterates an array elements and modify the array elements. So we iterate elements, but we do not change them. We just do something with them. It's for each. But if we want to change these values when we are iterating on them, we need to use a map. The example here, numbers.map, num will be num multiplied by num, or num.uppercase, etc. Instead of printing it, we change these values. Filter, self-explanatory. There's a value, that data you're filtering by a thing. For example, for a condition. For example, here we are filtering if it includes lengths. We are filtering the values, they end with I, A, etc. And reduce, it takes a callback and it gets an accumulator and current, and there's optional initial value as parameter, and returns a single value. If your operation is this, you can use reduce. The example is reduce combination current, multiply them. So it just multiplies all these values. Every checks the condition for every element, and sum checks for some elements. Find the first element satisfies the condition, it returns that. It's pretty easy. And find index returns the first index that satisfies the condition, and sum is like every, but it returns a Boolean value. Some of them are true for this condition. And sort, rearrange the elements in ascending or descending order. For example, sort, arrange them by alphabetically, and for numeric, ascending order. Let's use minus here. Oh, it's the it's used for normal order. Oh yeah, we are defining the order by doing this. B minus A. So this is descending. This is ascending. Sorting object arrays. We are using an object key to compare. If A key is smaller than B key, return this. So this is useful for custom comparisons. For example, in dictionaries, how you want to compare, you decide here. Now it's time for the exercises. Oh, this is the wrong exercise. We are at the 9th. Okay. Countries: Finland, Sweden, Denmark, Iceland. These are given the products. Explain the difference between for each map, filter, and reduce. For each executes a provided function. For each array element, map creates a new array with the result of calling a provided function on every element. Filter creates a new array with all elements that pass the condition implemented by the provided function, and reduce executes a provided function for each value of the array and returns a single value. We just talked about it. Define a callback function before used in a for each, map, filter, and reduce. We're using map here to and applying this function on this array, and here we're reducing it to apply sum operation. Use for each here, for each. We talk about all these, the mapping to uppercase. We're just practicing here. You can practice these by yourself, get used to them. Declare function gets a string list which takes an array as parameter and returns an array only with string items. Now if type of item is string, we filter these values. We're just practicing these. We just explained it so you can try it by yourself. Exercise level 2, find the total price of products by chaining 2 or more array iterators. Total is equal to products, filter by this, and then map by price. Then reduce, and we get the sum. Find the sum of price of products using only reduce callback. Here we're doing this line, returning that. If price is not larger than 0, just return the accumulator. A declare function called categorize countries, which returns an array of countries which have some common pattern. You find the countries array in the repository as countries. So we're defining a pattern here, regex, then filtering this, and when we use this country by, we are getting this from the user, you can think of it like that, and it just filters. We can write a library like this. Create a function which return an array of objects, which is the letter and the number of times the letter used to start with the name of a country. Initials count for each, make it uppercase, so small case, uppercase, they don't get complicated. Initials count, initial, if it exists, increase it. If it already not exists, make it 1. It's kind of a frequency algorithm. If it not exists, add 1 and then increase it already exists. And returns objects entries, map these values by the letter and count. Declare get first 10 countries. This is really simple. You just get that. And the last one for -10. Find out which letter is used many times as initial for a country name from the countries arrays. First letter country, uppercase, letter. It's kind of same. Level 3, use the country's information in the data folder, sort countries by name, by capital, by population, find the 10 most spoken languages. So this is the given. Now this is how our output should look like. So we are sorting by name, array of country names sorted by name here. We are sorting by capital, and then sorting by population here. Use countries data.js file to create a function which creates 10 most populated countries. This is given. Most spoken languages, languages, countries, flat maps, languages, count, language of languages, count of language, increase else 1. This is frequency algorithm. And we're doing exactly the same. Try to develop a program which calculates measure of central tendency of a sample, mean, median, mode, and measure of variability, range, variance, standard deviation. In addition to those measures, find the min, max, count, percentile, and frequency distribution of the sample. You can create an object called statistics and create all the functions which do statistical calculations as method for the statistic object. This is really long. You should check this. That's all for today. Thank you for listening.